Hi, and welcome to the Cornelius Seed podcast. Thank you for checking out our podcast. Established in 1935, we're an American-owned and family-owned independent seed company. And we're excited to partner with you in our new podcast by bringing you 5 generations of agricultural experience and decades of industry expertise. In our podcasts, you can expect to gain valuable and timely information to aid you in making decisions for your operation. We'll keep things simple and informative, and much like our motto, Planet Profit. Welcome back to the Cornelius Seed podcast. At Cornelius Seed, your profitability is our priority. Working in an industry that can be affected with so many variables, with market swings and weather changes, just to name a few, we've partnered with Pivot Bio to help growers provide a stable and efficient nitrogen source on their ground. Today I'm joined by Dillon Luhman from Pivot Bio, and we're going to learn about this new microbial product, how it works, and its benefits. Welcome, Dillon.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks again for joining us, Dillon. Before we get started, let's start with you. What do you do for Pivot Bio?
Yeah, so my name is Dillon Luhman. I'm the Eastern Iowa Territory Sales Manager. So I have the pleasure of working with independent sales reps within our geography across the eastern part of the state of Iowa.
Well, thank you for taking some time to join us today. I want to start with learning about Pivot Bio's Proven 40, what it is and how it works. Let's turn to some audio from a video that's available on YouTube from Pivot Bio. If you guys want to check out the video later, it will be in the episode notes.
Pivot Bio has introduced a new microbial product that captures nitrogen from the air, converts it to a form corn can use, and then applies this nutrient directly to the corn plant daily throughout the growing season. This new product, called Pivot Bio Proven 40, consists of nitrogen-producing microbes that are applied during planting. Once the seeds and microbes are together in the ground, the roots have immediate access to the Pivot Bio Proven 40 microbes. As the seed germinates and the roots reach out into the soil, the microbes adhere to the root structure. The microbes and roots quickly form a mutually beneficial relationship, capture nitrogen gas from the air, convert it to ammonia, and feed it directly to the corn roots. Farmers can be confident with Pivot Bio Proven 40 as the foundation of their nitrogen program. It does not wash away during weather events, nor does it volatilize into the air. It stays put, weather or not.
So, this sounds like some revolutionary technology. I'm glad we've got Dillon on the line here. Dillon, can you explain some of the highlights and some other info we can glean from this?
Yeah, absolutely. So Proven 40 is a second generation product that Pivot Bio has recently released. So our original product, Pivot Bio Proven, was about a 25-pound replacement product of synthetic nitrogen. Since then, we've come out with our second generation product, which is Pivot Bio Proven 40, which is a liquid in furrow product. But new to this year, we also have an on-seed capable product in the same product. So Proven 40, by design, is, as it sounds, a 40-pound synthetic nitrogen replacement. The benefit of using Pivot Bio Proven 40 is 3 things. It's more predictable, it's more productive, and it's weatherproof. What we mean by that is it is more predictable because, as the video explained, our product is growing on the roots and it is adhering to the roots of the corn plant, meaning it can't be washed away, leached, or volatilized. That nitrogen is being created by the plant hour by hour, day by day, throughout the entire growing season when you actually need it. So when you're buying 40 pounds of nitrogen from Pivot Bio, you're getting 40 pounds of nitrogen from Pivot Bio, unlike synthetic nitrogens that are very inefficient in how they interact with the soil and with the plant. Meaning, since our product is more predictable and that plant is utilizing 100% of that nitrogen it's producing, it's more productive. And so we've seen in side-by-side comparisons when comparing a 40-pound synthetic nitrogen product versus Pivot Bio Proven 40, our plants are taking up more nitrogen and ultimately creating a healthier, larger plant because of that when replacing it as a synthetic nitrogen. And lastly, the weatherproof component. Farmers know how expensive and variable nitrogen could be in their plan, especially in today's market. It's really nice to know that growers can buy 40 pounds and knowing that they're going to get 40 pounds, because when they're losing that nitrogen, ultimately it's being lost into the atmosphere or it's being washed away through their soils into their water. So it's nice knowing that they're able to use a product that's more environmentally friendly, making them better stewards of the land and ultimately improving their bottom line.
Great. No, thank you, Dylan. So let's talk a little bit about how we get it into the growers' hands and how they get it in the ground. You talked about it on seed and in furrow. Um, let's go into in furrow a little bit. What does that mean for a grower? Uh, what can it go in a tank with? Does it need to be by itself?
Sure. So stewardship is the most important and critical piece of using our product. And in order to see the results that we're expecting in our product to perform how it's supposed to, it starts with handling it. So this is new technology. This is a living organism, so it needs to be handled a little bit differently. Since it is a living organism, if you're using a liquid in furrow product, it will come in a 4-gallon jug. A 4-gallon jug does 40 acres on 30-inch row spacing, meaning there's a 12.8 ounce per acre use rate, and a carrier rate needs to be 3 to 5 gallons per acre. Now, our preferred carrier would be water for simplicity's sake, but we are compatible with most low salt starter fertilizers. I would reach out to your local representative if you have a specific starter in mind that you're using to make sure that we are compatible, but it needs to be a low salt starter. Now, we are able to tank mix most of those, but we do prefer growers use some sort of direct inject system on their planter just to make sure that if there is issues with compatibility, that is not a concern. So we are compatible with most low salt starters, and as well as insecticides. Now, insecticides add a bit of complexity to our product. We have found that we're compatible with most generic bifenthrins. When using water, we don't really like to be used with starters and with an insecticide with our product, especially if there's not going to be a direct inject system used within the planter. Force Evo, for instance, is a product that we know that we are unfortunately are not compatible with. So that is just kind of a watch out, but most other bifenthrin products would be okay to be used with our product.
Oh, good.
One thing I will mention as well, this is a liquid in furrow on seed product, so it can't be placed in a 2x2 or anything like that. This needs to be directly put in the furrow on the seeds. So through, like a totally tubular system or through a furrowed jet or through some sort of seed firmer would be some examples of some application methods.
I'm sure most growers would not like the idea, if they're not set up for it, to have another cost to their operation. You talked about a direct inject system. I know there's some out there like the Dosatron. Does Pivot Bio doing anything in partnering with folks to help out with that if they're deciding to they require assistance with it?
Yeah, absolutely. So we understand that not everyone is currently equipped and set up to use our product. And so we're trying to offset the equipment necessities to use a product like ours. So Pivot Bio offers an equipment assistance program to help equip planters with a liquid and furrow system. We have a 3-year contract available for anyone if they would like to take advantage of that. That equipment program requires a 520 acre purchase for 3 consecutive years, and we will give them a $5,000 equipment allowance to put a liquid and furrow system on their planter. Or if they commit to 1,000 acres for 3 consecutive years, they would qualify for a $10,000 equipment allowance to put a system on their planter. We understand that obviously not everyone is set up or has the ability, but this is a great way to get into equipping your planter and really offsetting the majority of the cost to utilize a product like ours.
That's very good. I mean, it sounds like Pivot Bio really believes in this to be able to go through it and make a commitment like that. You also mentioned that this year's also on seed, and we're excited at Cornelius Seed that we've equipped ourselves to help those needs and treat seed. Like you mentioned, there's a certain window of time that it can be used with. And I just encourage folks that if that's something they're interested in, to make sure that they partner with your district sales manager to learn more about it. Dylan, is there any minimums when it comes to ordering, whether it's going to go in furrow or on seed?
Great question. So yes, for our liquid in furrow product, the minimum package type and the only package type is a 4-gallon package, which does 40 acres. So for the liquid and furrow version, 40 acres is the minimum purchase. For the on seed, there is a 125 acre minimum purchase, or roughly a 50 unit box of corn. So that is the minimum purchase for the on seed.
I think we all realize that sometimes we believe Mother Nature is going to cooperate, and then she doesn't. So let's say someone goes and then gets started, they get rained out. it might feel like you have an issue on your hands. What are some of the options for someone that might not be able to take advantage and get it in the ground, or maybe if they run into a replant situation?
Absolutely. So we really believe in our product, and we really want to stand behind our product and beside growers. So we offer, if there's any issues with using our product, whether you mix up a liquid and furrow tank and you break down, or you get rained out and you're not able to get that product planted off in time, we stand behind that product, and it is 100% free replacement if things do happen. There's pros and cons to using the liquid and furrow and the on seed. That's one thing that you don't really have to worry about with the on seed option, is if you get into a situation where you can't get it planted off within that 24-hour window that the liquid and furrow does require. But we understand that there's definitely pros and cons to each application method. But at the end of the day, if you need to replant, if you are restricted to getting it planted off in a timely fashion, Pivot Bio will furbish product as for free to replace that.
Oh, good. Very good to know. We've touched on really how what Proven 40 is and how folks benefit. Now I'm a data kind of person. I'm really interested in I went to school in Missouri, and it's a show me state, right? So show me the proof, or how do I know that it's working, right? I realize that it'll be a healthier plant that'll probably be greener longer, but what are ways for someone to try this out and know, hey, I really did retain 40 units or replace 40 units of nitrogen? How else are they going to see benefits?
Yeah, so growers this season really had that question, and we really had to be able to showcase that our product is working. And so one way we were able to do that was through a program that we had called the Nitrogen Guarantee Program. And what the Nitrogen Guarantee Program is we had growers basically use any grower that used over 500 acres worth of product last year, or on all of their corn acres, regardless of size. We gave them the option for us to prove to them that our product was working, or it was money back guaranteed. And so how we did that was we required a grower to leave a check strip in a field of their choice, where they had their standard nitrogen practice with a reduction nitrogen place with Pivot Bio versus their standard nitrogen practice. So if that grower is putting on 160 pounds of synthetic nitrogen, the goal would be to have 160 pounds of synthetic nitrogen versus a reduction of nitrogen with Proven 40. And so when we're comparing apples to apples with nitrogen rates, that is what we're trying to show to growers, that we are in turn producing nitrogen, and in the end goal is to put more nitrogen into that plant when comparing apples to apples like that. And so we had an incredible amount of growers take advantage of this program this year, and allowed us to really go out in the field and walk beside the growers and really show them our product at work. And so when we put together all of that data across 34 different states this summer, it ended up being the largest nitrogen study ever conducted. We ended up having over 1.4 million acres represented in this study across 2,000 different fields. And what we ended up finding is when growers use us as a replacement synthetic nitrogen versus their standard practice, we averaged a 12% increase in in-plant nitrogen, as well as a 12% increase in vegetative biomass. So we not only made up that reduction of synthetic nitrogen, but we were putting more nitrogen into that plant. And in turn, we were creating a larger, healthier plant, both above ground and below ground. So we feel that we really could showcase to growers that they could confidently replace their synthetic nitrogen with Pivot Bio Proven 40, and not only do that, but they would see a benefit in doing so.
Wow, that's pretty fascinating. I mean, it sounds like, it can help all kinds of situations, and really especially any of those lower organic matter soils.
Absolutely. One thing with nitrogen that we know is just how unpredictable it can be, whether that be, weather events or soil types. Nitrogen is very mobile in the soil, and it's very indicative upon what you're having for a growing season and the soil types you have, on how well that plant will be able to utilize the nitrogen that's there. And so that is a benefit of our product, is we don't care what rain events happen, what Mother Nature is doing, or your soil type. Our nitrogen is on the root, whereas synthetic nitrogen, you're putting it into the soil, hoping it gets taken up by the plant. So, low organic nitrogen or low organic soils, or sandier soils where that you struggle to hold on to nutrients as well. This is a huge advantage with our product. If you're struggling to put on, nitrogen early on, or if you're having to split apply because that nitrogen is being lost or leached throughout the growing season because you have soil types that can't retain that nitrogen, this is going to be a huge advantage to use a product like ours, because it's going to be there throughout the entire growing season, specifically later in the growing season, when that plant truly needs it. And so that is a huge advantage for Pivot Bio, and the fact that we are on the roots. We're not in the soil like synthetic nitrogen is.
Very good. I think we've covered almost everything that I had in mind that I want to discuss. Saving kind of the best for last, or hopefully the best. I mean, when you're talking about all of these, what sounds innovative and amazing benefits, I'm afraid it's going to be costly. So what can you tell us about, cost or programs, or what kind of options are out there for folks?
One thing that I guess I really appreciate with Pivot Bio is, we offer a product that's more predictable in how we work. But one thing that we also want to be known from the grower standpoint is predictable in terms of what to expect from us as a company. We have maintained flat pricing for the last 3 years with our product. We have not taken a price per pound change in our product in that time. And we've continued to sell out, meaning growers are turning to a better nitrogen at a very quick rate, which is obviously an advantage for us. But we have maintained pricing, which I feel like is fair in a nitrogen market or an ag economy where everything is rising. The growers' costs continue to go up and up. We've been able to offer a tremendous product that is offering a lot of value back and not take a price increase. So in today's market, our best price per possible on our liquid and furrow is $21 an acre or 52 cents a pound of nitrogen. And our on-seed product is the best price possible is $24 an acre or 62 cents a pound. So in today's market, very, very competitive when you're looking at cost per pound of nitrogen. And we're very proud of that. And that's just, we've maintained that price for the last 3 years. But the real benefit is the fact that you're getting 100% usability from our product, and it is taken up by the plant when you truly need it. Now, one thing that I will mention, we are growing very rapidly. Our product has sold out for the last 3 consecutive sales seasons. We are trying to keep up with demand from growers. We're struggling to do so, and I hope that we can keep up with the market demand of our product this year. But that's not a certainty. We're on a growth plan for this year that is far exceeding even our high expectations. We have an early commit deadline coming up December 14th that is able to save you an additional $3 an acre. So I would just mention to your growers that if anyone has interest in purchasing some Pivot Bio this year, please reach out to a Cornelius representative if you'd like to learn more and try to get an order in by December 14th. So 1, you can save more money, and 2, we might not be available if you wait any longer. So I would encourage you guys to really reach out. Don't drag your feet, to learn more and to put it in order.
I really appreciate that, Dillon. Thank you. I agree with you. I really like the pricing structure, especially that it's priced by acre. So regardless of the row width or your population, you're replacing the amount you need if it needs replaced. And so thank you for highlighting all of that. Folks, thank you for listening. I highly encourage you to learn more about this. You can go to pivotbio.com just to see additional information. But if you really just want to talk to someone, go ahead and reach out to us. Give us a call at 1-800-218-1862 or get a hold of your local district sales manager. And we'd love to partner with you and share more info.